Okay, so we'll be using our normal wacky rating system. Apparently this is a weird rating system, but I don't know. I like it. It makes sense to me. We already edited it, so 1 is the best, 5 is the worst, and 3 is average. I don't even know what the average card would be anymore. It used to be like Yeti was an amazing card, and then it was like Yeti is the average, and then it was Yeti was below average, and now Yeti is probably better than average again. I don't know. See, I don't even know what the average is, but yeah, I'll give you my opinion regardless. Here we go. Chromie. It is a neutral. It is a neutral common. Oh no, legendary. Has a legendary border, right? Shuffle 4 historical epic. Is that how you say it? Epoch? Epic? Epics into your deck, and those are these things. Opening the dark portal. Add 2 random legendary minions to your hand, draw a card, cast this when drawn. Do you get one of each? Give your minions +2/+2, draw a card. Add 2 random spells to your hand, draw a card, cast this when drawn. Deal 2 damage to all enemies, draw a card, cast this when drawn. Wow. Okay, so Chromie is amazing. Top tier auto pick. It is insane. She's broken. What the hell? So she shuffles those 4 epochs. She shuffles those 4 cards into your deck, and they are all pretty insane. There's value in there, there's tempo, there's board clear. It's just everything you could want. So yeah, and it's kind of got that the same thing as like the Nerubian Unraveler. I think that's what it's called. The 4/4 that shuffles 4 spiders, and it's like when you draw it, it casts it, which summons a 4/4 and draws a card. So it's just sick. It's just really, really amazing. I think this is an easy auto pick for me. Wildlands Adventure. It's a neutral common. 5/5. Battlecry. Add a random card from the Hall of Fame to your hand. It's certainly a good card. It's a 5 and a 5/5. Essentially draw a card or like create a card. So it's think like Bonfire Elemental, or like Grand Crusader is another good example. The Grand Crusader cost 6, and that was still a really good card. Granted, it's a different meta now, but yeah, it's still a very good card. I would say this is an easy 2 for me. Infinite Merlok. This is a 1/1. Shuffle an Infinite Merlok into your deck. Your future Infinite Merloks get +1/+1. I don't think this is that great of a card. I don't think it's terrible because sometimes, you curve out on 1, but you don't really want to be drawing 1-drops. I mean, for it to be really insane, you need to never run out of steam. I can maybe seeing myself drafting this on like Warlock, where it doesn't really matter. Like you don't really run out of steam because you always have more. But for decks that run out of steam, I don't think this will do that well. So I think this will be probably average, and it could be like a 1-mana 5/5 even, and that really might happen. But the thing is, it will make your draws a little bit more inconsistent. So I think it'll be pretty average. I'm gonna put this at a 3. It's a cool idea though. Stasis Dragon starts dormant. This awakens with rush after 2 turns. 6 mana 10/10. In 2 turns it can attack. I don't think this is a good card at all because MC Tech is quite popular, and it's essentially 6 mana do nothing. 2 turns is a bit much. I mean, I think we've kind of seen examples of that from like Temporis, and it is a 10/10, but you're only getting +4/+4, I suppose, in a rush, but you're paying 2 turns and 6 mana for it, so I don't really think it's worth it. I would say this is below average. I would say it's a 4. Yeah, I just don't see it being that good. Time-Bound Giant. It's a 15 mana 8/8. Neutral. Costs 1 less for each card you've drawn. That's really good. I think this is a really good card. I mean, some games end around like turn 6 or 7. But by turn 6 or 7, you've drawn enough. Drawn at least 6 or 7 cards, right? No, maybe that's not good enough then. Not many games are over by turn 7, and a lot of games do tend to go to fatigue, so it's essentially a free 8/8. I suppose it depends on what kind of deck you're playing. If you're playing like an aggro deck, like a tempo-oriented board control aggro deck, aggro-y tempo deck, I would say this is not very good, but something on Priest, you know, on Warlock, it'll be really good, where you're just kind of holding back, clearing the board, and waiting for like high value threats, waiting for your opponent to run out of steam. This will be okay. I would say it's probably going to be a good card. I would say it's a 2. Yeah, I'm going to say 2. It's hard to think about because each deck plays a little bit different. Timeless Witness. It is a 3-mana 2/4. Instead of drawing your normal card each turn, discover a card from your deck. So you're thinning your deck and you're kind of searching for better answers. It is a good card. It makes your draws more consistent, and it is statted fairly. So yeah, and it's every turn as well. So yeah, I would say it is a good card. I don't think it's that good. I think it's 2.5 for me. It does make your draws consistent. I think still 2.5 is probably what I would put it at. I don't think it's like... It's alright. Possibility Seeker. It's a 4-mana 4/5 dragon. Shuffle your hand into your deck. Draw that many cards. Well, the stats are already good, so that's good. Oh my gosh, yeah. Dragon Slayer is going to be insane in this meta. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw that many cards. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I mean, I don't think the battle cry is that beneficial. So, yeah. I mean, you can play what you want to play and then shuffle, but you're still shuffling your hand into your deck. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a 2.5 again. I think it's about a Yeti. I don't think I would really care about this versus the Yeti. I might even prefer the Yeti. Because Yetis don't get Dragon Slayered, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I don't really see the upside of shuffling my hand into my deck. Not that much. Not really. Maybe if you're like looking for something specific like a UI or something. I don't know. I think it's a 2.5. I don't think it's that good. Timeway Wanderer. Battlecry. Discover a spell. Reduce its cost by 5, then put it on top of your deck. So these stats are very familiar. This is just like Ethereal Conjurer, except Ethereal Conjurer only discovered a spell, right? It didn't reduce the cost. So this is just a sick Ethereal Conjurer. Although you don't get it on you don't get it in hand, which is the difference. But it's still pretty sick. I would say this is a top tier card. This is probably an amazing top tier auto pick card. You don't draw the extra card though, huh? But you gain the 5 mana worth of tempo and you get the 6/3. That is a difference though. When you discover with Ethereal Conjurer, you're adding something to your hand, whereas this one adds it to the top of your deck, so you don't actually gain that extra card. Like it stops your next draw. Instead you get the spell. I think this would be really sick on like Priest or something, where you have really, really high impact spells. And it's still a lot of tempo, but you're kind of paying for it by playing a 5 and a 6/3. But I think we've kind of seen in the past that 5 and a 6/3 isn't that terrible. And people don't always have an answer, so it actually trades okay. So yeah, I would say it's a good card. I would put it at actually probably 1.5. I think it's very close to being amazing, but because you lose the extra draw, I don't think it's actually amazing. Temporal Anomoly. When you draw this, add a random spell to your hand from your class. It's a 2-mana 2/2 neutral. When you draw this, add a random spell to your hand. It's good, right? Like it has a battle cry before it even enters battle. It's when you draw this, you just get the extra card. That's sick. So you don't even have to play it to see it. So yeah, it's a 2/2 with an upside, and that's great. So I would put this at good. It's a good card too. Blessing of Aeons. It's a Paladin Secret. Give a minion... Oh no, it's not a secret. Is it a secret? It's not a secret, right? I see 1-mana Paladin card, I'm like, oh, it's a secret. Give a minion at the end of your turn, gain +1/+1. This is a snowbally card. It's pretty troll. It's just something that needs to be dealt with. It's a +1/+1 buff at the end of your turn, so you don't trade. You can't like free trade and then do it, but it can snowball out of control if they don't have an answer. I think snowball cards in general are pretty insane. I think people always underestimate how good at the end of turn it is. Previous examples are like even the 5 and a 3/3 ooze that summons the 1/2s. I think it's a lot better than people originally thought. Scalebane, I think a lot of people knew that was going to be broken, but I don't think they knew how broken it was going to be. Or You know, like the 2-mana 2/1 priest. When you just let that go, it just gets out of hand. Even like Shrieking Shroom kind of gets ridiculous when you can't deal with it instantaneously. So yeah, I think it's going to be better than I think, and I think it's not going to be that great, so it'll probably be a good card. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it at good. I kind of want to put it higher just because I've seen at the end of turn cards just kind of snowball out of control, but +1/+1 isn't really the same effect as, you know, +3 attack to a minion. It's close. It is close, but yeah, we'll see. Rift Warden, it's a Warlock card, 7-mana 5/5, Battlecry, discard a random minion, and Death Rattle summon it. Wow, it's an interesting card. It is a good card, right? You pay 7 mana. I think it should be a very good card, and you can kind of manipulate it in your favor. And Death Rattles are really powerful in Arena because they need to be dealt with. There's not that many silences, so this makes it all the more powerful. And yeah, I think this will be quite good. I will put this at a 2. It's quite good. I think this will be a very interesting card to see. Grasp the Future, 4-mana Warlock spell, draw 2 cards, they cost 2 less. Drawing 2 cards and making them cost 2 less. Haven't we seen this card before on Druid? I don't remember the old cards. I think it's like Lunar Visions. Yeah, Lunar Visions, I think, is a lot like this. Although this just says cards and not just minions, right? So I think this will be quite good. It's a bit slow to do it on Warlock, but you kind of catch back up through the tempo of it. Still, I think paying 4 mana to draw 2 is often kind of hard to do, especially on Warlock when you're already like, you generally have enough steam already through your life tap. I don't see it being better than like a 2.5, honestly. I know it kind of pays for itself, but it does pay for itself. 4 mana, draw 2 cards, they cost 2 less. It pays for itself, and you draw 2 cards. Perhaps that's better than I think. I think it's going to be a very weak turn forward play, but I think it's pretty insane later on. Alright, I'm changing my mind. I think it's probably going to be like close to amazing. 1.5, because it automatically pays for itself, right? And you draw the 2 cards, and you kind of get to manipulate how you spend the mana. It's pretty insane. 1.5. Okay, 3-mana Druid card, flash forward. Each mana gains 2 mana crystals and draws 2 cards. I think this is shitty. I don't think you would ever pick this because you don't really want to. It's kind of like the 3-mana 2/4 Druid card that allows you to ramp both people or draw both people a card. It was just never very good because the stats don't even pay for it. You're paying 3 mana. You gain the crystals. I guess you gain the crystals now, so you get the initiative of it. But you're paying 3 mana for it. I don't really like it. I mean, I think you can pick this up when you have UI in your deck, but if you don't have UI, I don't see this being that beneficial because you're not really getting anywhere. You're just helping your opponent. I would put this at below average, I think. I would put this at 4. I don't like this card. Thief of Futures. It's a rogue card, 4 mana 4/3. Add a copy of the top card of your opponent's deck to your hand. This is quite good. It's a 4 mana 4/3, which the stats are fine, honestly. And adding a copy of the top card of your opponent's deck to your hand gives you information, a lot of information, and it adds something to your hand as well. So I think it's going to be very, very good. Yeah, it's just more steam for rogue. They have a lot of good ways to catch back up on tempo, so it's totally fine. And I like the stat line. The 4/3 is challenges 4 drops, but you know, doesn't just die to random like 2 3s. It's quite good. Good stat line. It's a I would say this is a 2. It's a good card. I think it's close to a 1.5, but I would say 2. Deja Vu. It's a 1 mana rogue spell. Discover a copy of a spell you played this game. So it's a 1 mana, pay 1 mana to gain another copy of your spell, but you get to choose it essentially because you're discovering it. I think that's quite good. I mean, you can Deja Vu like Pickpocket or Cheap Shot or you know, Hallucination even. And yeah, I think it'll be I think this will just be a good card, right? Discover tends to be good because you have the options, and yeah, a lot of rogue spells are very, very high value, especially now. So I'll put this at a 2. Infinite Wolf. Rush. It's a 4-mana hunter card. Rush. After this attacks, shuffle it into your deck and give future infinite wolves +2/+2. So I actually looked at this beforehand and I thought it was going to be insane. But I don't think it's as good as I think because Rush means it can only hit minions. You can play it and then not cast it at face, for sure. But after it attacks, it shuffles itself. So it's not shuffle a copy into your deck, it's shuffle it. So you can get a free trade. It goes back into your deck as, yeah, it's something you still have to draw. I think it'll be very, very good still, but I'm not sure how nutty it will be. Because if you ever want to hit face with it, it will shuffle itself back into your deck, which is pretty troll. And if you ever trade with it, it still shuffles itself into your deck. So I think it's a good card, but I don't think it's amazing because I think you lose a lot of the tempo. And yeah, the whole reason you want good stats is because you get free trades and then you can still hit face afterwards. But this can't really do both. I'll put it at good, but I don't think it's amazing as I thought it would be. Stasis Elemental. It's a 4-mana 3/5 battle cry. Freeze the minion until this leaves the battlefield. That is super troll. But at the same time, the stats aren't that good. And, you know, there's a lot of removal in Arena right now, so I think that this won't be as amazing. I think it's pretty troll, but I don't think it will be, like, absurd or anything. I actually think it'll be average because the stat line is average. I think we can bump it up a little bit because it has that Frost Elemental effect, at least maybe instantaneously. I don't think it's that good of a card. I think it's just average. I'm going to put this at average because the stats are actually below average, but it has the battle cry, so I'll put it at average. If this dies in the same turn as you freeze, then the freeze did nothing, essentially. So I don't think it's actually that good. I don't think it's that good. It is an elemental. I'm going to put it at average, though. I don't think it's that good. 2.5 at best, but I'm still going to stick to my guns and say average. Cavern Dreamer. It's a mage 1/3. At the end of your turn, add a random spell that costs 2 or less to your hand. Oh god, I hate this. I think once again, at the end of your turn, cards are just nutty because they often proc more than once. And I think it's fine if it procs just once, but if it procs twice, it's pretty absurd. And if it keeps procking, it's really absurd. So I think this is actually a disgusting card. I think this is probably going to be a 1.5. Rating this quite highly, but I've just seen at the end of your turn cards just get out of hand real fast. So yeah, I'm gonna put this pretty highly. Master of Realities. It is a Shrum card. After you summon a minion, transform it into a random minion that costs 2 more. I love this card. And it's a permanent effect. Like until it dies, which is pretty crazy. So it's a 6-mana 5/7. It's very close to a Boulderfist Ogre. The stat line is great, so it's already like a good card, or at least an average card. And then the effect is insane. It's so cool. I really, really like it. I mean, this is my favorite kind of card, but I think this will be an amazing and top tier card. I think I'm going to put this at 1 because like the stats are amazing and the effect is actually crazy snowbally. So I'm going to put this at 1 and I love it. Draconic Herald. It is a 6-mana 5/6 dragon, so Pit Fighter stats for 6. Battlecry, discover minion, give it +3/+3, and then put it on top of your deck. That is absurd. So once again, it's a little less absurd just because you don't discover. Like whenever you discover a card, you generally add it to your hand, and it's like an additional card. Whereas this one is adding it to the top of your deck, so you're not gaining the card in your hand right away, and when you do draw it the next turn, you're not getting like the additional card that you normally would get. So it's a little bit different than what we've been used to. Still a pretty dirty card, I would say. 6-mana 5/6 are good stats, and the discover effect, really pays for itself. And discovering is generally pretty insane anyway. So yes, I would put this at like a 1.5. I think it's very close to being amazing and top tier auto pick. I think it might actually just be amazing and top tier auto pick. I don't think it's on the same level as the previous card and the first legendary we saw, so I'll put this at a 1.5. I think it's really, really strong, but not quite there to be that, but yeah, I would pick this very highly. Harbinger of Catastrophe. It's a 6-mana 6/7 druid card. At the end of your turn, summon the highest cost minion from each player's deck. Oh man, that is so troll. The thing is, it's at the start of your turn, so you get to do the trading first. It is still very troll. It is still very troll. I mean, it depends on how big your deck is, right? But you're playing druid, you have a lot of big creatures. It pays for itself in stats, 6 mana 6/7. The problem is that druids kind of have a tough time dealing with big creatures, but I could definitely see myself like picking Naturalize very highly with this. I think it's going to be a good card. I don't think it's amazing just because I think people will have a hard time using it correctly, but I think you can actually build decks around this, which is really cool. I'm excited to see how this plays. I'm going to put this at a 2. Solid 2. Good stats, interesting effect. Interested to see how this pans out. 5 and a 5/5 Dragon Paladin card. When you summon this, summon a 1/1 wee whelp. When you draw this, you get a 1/1 on board right away. That's insane. That's pretty cool. You get a free patches. You draw patches. Damn. But you have to draw this. You can't discover it, right? So it's a little bit different. Like, I mean, it's not like there's nether spites or anything. It's a 5 and a 5/5 with a slight upside, and Paladin gains a lot from 1/1s on the board, so there's that. I would say it's like a 2.5. It's like slightly above average. I mean, the stats are fine. The effect is fine. Makes it a little bit... I think it's just average, actually. I'm changing my mind. I think it's just an average card. Because you get the 1/1 right away, but yeah. You still only have a 5 and a 5/5. So yeah, let's put it at average 3. Oh my god, but you can draw this on turn 1. Oh man, I'm just imagining the games where like the game starts and there's 3 1/1s on the board. Oh, my head. My head hurts already, the memes. Like that could happen, right? You could draw this on turn 1. Or does it matter when you draw on the mulligan? I wonder how this interacts with the mulligan actually. Because you can only draw 1 card at a time, but if we're not counting the mulligan, then we're only drawing 1 card at a time. So you can't actually have 3 on turn 1. Okay. I don't think it'll be that good. Alright, back to my average pick. I think it's pretty nuts if you just high roll and you draw this on your first turn, but that's about it. I'll put it at average. Chrono Shot. It is a hunter card. Return an enemy to your opponent's hand. It costs 2 more. It's a freezing trap, but it's forced, which is sick. It's a super sap. This is a super sap, and sap is sick. So, yeah, this is great. It's not even just a sap, it's a super sap, right? So, yeah, I think this is actually amazing. I would put this at a 1. It essentially is like a choose a deadly shot. It's very close to choosing a deadly shot. I'd put this at 1. I think this is an auto pick. It's just so much tempo, and that's exactly what you want on Hunter. Fate Cleaver is a warrior card. After this kills a minion, destroy all copies of it wherever they are. That is so troll. So it kills things in people's hands and their decks. That's just troll. I like the effect, but I mean it's a 4-mana 4/2, which is just, it's fine. It's good, right? Like, I'll put this at a good. It doesn't do, man. It actually might do a lot. Holy crap, that's really cool. I put this at a 2. I'll put this at a 2. I think if you're able to snipe something in their hand that they have a copy of, that would be the most ridiculous thing. So the upside is really ridiculous, but I'm not sure how often that actually happens. It is really crazy if you use this on like a living mana. Living mana just got a lot worse in this meta. Or any of the echo cards, you know? Like, Fate Cleaver destroys echo cards. Holy crap. So that'll be kind of cool. And it destroys your copies of it too, right? It says destroy all copies of it. So it includes your own. So you actually have to kind of be thinking about it when you play this card. It's very interesting. I actually don't know how good it's going to be. I'm going to still put it at good. But I'm interested to see how this plays out. Because, man, people are going to like hit something and not think about it. And then like suddenly you see them lose like 3 cards. I'm excited. Revenus. It's a priest 2-mana card. Add 2 random cards your opponent played this game to your hand. That's really good. It's 2 mana Thought Steal, except, you know, it's cards that they've already played, which is quite good. It's just good, right? It's just really good. This actually might be like amazing. It's 2 mana draw too. 2 random cards. It counts as coin though, which is a little troll, right? Because this is cards your opponent played, and coin is a card that your opponent can play. But it's, I think it's still maybe like a 1.5. 1.5 for me. I think the coin will be pretty troll, but other than that, even coin is fine though. Ripple in Time. 1 mana priest card. Discover a minion. If you played it this turn, it has echo. So Murazond. So this one is actually a little bit too troll, I think. I think it's going to be a meme card. Probably a 3. Because the thing about it is 15-second turns are pretty tough. And you're drawing 2 extra cards each turn. So you're drawing 3 cards a turn. And all your opponent has to do is hold on, because you fatigue really fast. Drawing 3 cards a turn, I mean, by turn 7, you only have, like, at best 6 turns left before you fatigue, right? You've already drawn, you know, 6 or 7 cards at least. And if you just play this on 7, you still only have 6 or 7 turns, and you have to play really, really fast. It's not like you gain initiative, because a 7 mana 6/6 isn't that powerful, right? The stats don't really like auto win you the game, so you don't put them on a clock, and the extra cards often won't be enough steam. Like, a lot of people don't run out of steam that easily, so I don't think it'll be that good. I'm gonna put this at average. I'm gonna put this at 3. Okay, so consider the past is add 3 random spells from the past to your hand. So something interesting about this that I missed on the first glance was that it says add 3 random spells from the past to your hand. So it's actually 3 random spells from any class. Evolve! But yeah, it'll be pretty troll. I think it'll still be really good. It's kind of like Kabbalah's Tome, except you can't really expect like the big giant board clears. I think there's still a lot of big giant board clears. Like there's Dragonfire Potion. All the potions are in the past, right? Dragonfire, Fellfire, Volcanic Potion. But yeah, it'll be a lot of cards. Still gonna be very good. 4 mana draw 3, and they're all gonna be spells. Should be very strong. So I would still put this at a 1.5, because I think Arena is a lot about value, and I think you can really take turns like this. So yeah, I'll put this at 1.5. Ripple in Time. 1 mana priest card. Discover a minion. If you played it this turn, it has echo. If you play it this turn, it has echo. Wow. Imagine discovering a Stonehill! Poggers! I mean, this is just good. 1 mana discover minion is just good. And then having that extra echo is pretty insane, actually. I'd put this at 1. Amazing top tier auto pick. Because it's just like, no matter what, you can fill out your curve. It's like a late game card, and you can play it early if you really need. So yeah, I'm gonna put this at amazing. Alright, that's it. Okay, that's it. Woo! There's a lot of really powerful cards here. I'm really interested to see how some of these play out, but we'll have to see. And yeah, thanks for watching.